Hi students, this is the tutorial for Premiere. So you will have your movies that you've generated in Lumion, and then one of the next part of the assignments is to get a little familiarity with Premiere. Premiere is a part of the Adobe suite. It is solely for processing videos. A lot of people have different ways of doing this. Um, we're going to use Premiere. If you feel more comfortable with iMovie, that's fine. If you feel more comfortable with After Effects, that's also fine. So we are essentially just going to the goal of this project is to import our video, add title, and export. So it's very simple. It's just so you guys can get familiar with video editing and like just open the project and see what happens in there. So when you open Premiere, it first asks you if you want a new project. In here, it also is doing this weird Adobe Premiere .9 folder as my destination folder. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to name this example. And all this is fine, and click OK. So the first thing I want to do is to import some video files, the video files I just did in Lumion. So you go to File, Import, and mine's called Fly Through Draft, and I'm just going to import that. And sometimes everyone's looks different. What should have probably popped up is this project example video. So all I'm going to do right now, this is my fly through. It's one of the examples from the sample models from Lumion. So I'm just going to drag this in to my timeline. So this is really what you're working with for the overall portion of the video. This is your final output. So this is the window that you will be moving stuff around and adding stuff. And then this is the result. So this is the play. So as you can see, this is going and then this will start playing. So this is the play. And this is actually how you're going to build the video, and these are the components that will go into the video. This is all very similar across all the video editing softwares. The iMovie is good, and if you wanted to use that, that's fine. You just have to be careful about saving your folders. It's as convoluted as saving the Lumion folder. And Premiere is a little bit better about that, and After Effects is really complicated but very powerful. So to each their own, but I will show you this easy way. So the first thing you want to be able to do, of the three things you need to do, is figure out how to import and then drag your fly through down here. So there we go. That's exactly what I wanted. If you had multiple videos by chance, you could import them all and then continue to drag. So you could create a chain of videos. So say you had 3 fly-throughs in Lumion that you produced, you could just bring them all in at once. So that's a big thing when you consider how long some of these take to render. I was doing this one, and at full quality, it takes an hour, which in reality isn't a long time, because sometimes I've known students take 40 hours to render these. But the software, you know, it's powerful, but still an hour is a long time to wait. So So that's your first lesson, is dragging things into the timeline. Next is the next important lesson is titles. So it's very simple. It's right here. And we're going to go to new title. We'll go with the default still. And this is just the video size. That's fine. I'm going to name this example title. And that title that I'm naming it is basically what you will see here. So hit OK. As you can see, this just popped up as a thing that I can drag. But first we have to develop the title. So this window is essentially everything you can work with. And there's actually a lot of transform possibilities that you can do and animating the text, but we won't get into that. So I'm just going to name this let me just go back. You can adjust the scale of your font. And there are some pretty hideous presets down here. Actually, this one's not terrible. It's very architectural. A lot of architecture students use this style. And after you have picked a font, a style, all the scale of the text, all these things which you are familiar with from Photoshop, you can use your little arrow to adjust its location in the window. Say I want mine at the bottom of the, oops. I want mine at the bottom of the screen. Right there. And there's other things you can do, and feel free to do them, but this is sufficient. And that's it. You're done. So you can just cancel out of it. And here is that Lumion rendering by Leslie Forehand that I just made. So just like with fly through, I'm going to grab it and drag this down. So now when I scrub, this is called scrubbing. Now when I scrub through, the first thing I see is my title. And the second thing I see is my building, the video I made. So for one, this blackening out, the fadeaway here, you can do that in Lumion. Or you can do that you could have done this as a separate segment and done this in Premiere. So these could have all been imported as discrete video files and then imported. So what I do want to do now is create a fade between this and this. Because if we hit play, that's really kind of abrupt. The text just disappears and the video starts. So that would be under Effects. So all you have to do is go to Window, Effects, and you're presented with all of these options. Pretty obviously, none of us have audio. If you want to import an audio file, that is also fine. But what we are really concerned with are the video transitions. The video effects are kind of overall video effects. Like you can adjust certain colors. But what we're really concerned with is the transitions. So all of these are fine. Some of them are more cheesy than others. I am particularly drawn to the simplicity of dissolve. So it's very simple. Once you find you can test these all out and watch them. It won't take too long to play around with this. But I'm going to grab cross dissolve and drag it. And it's kind of starting to click to things. So I actually want to dissolve it on both sides because I think both sides are too abrupt. So I'm going to click it here first. And you'll see this tiny gray box. And that really just means dissolve. So now my text appears, but then it just stops. So I think I need another dissolve. So let's go back, do this one, drag and place. Now this has placed this one here, but it will now dissolve my text into my scene, which is what I want. It's gonna like make a nice continuation. So if we hit play, the text turns on, stays on for 5 seconds, goes off, runs through my animation, and then stops. So this is as far as I need you guys to get. It's actually really great because you can create, you can adjust title pages and create text. You will know how to create transition spaces, and then you know how to import and export. So the last thing we need to do is export this movie with your title and your transitions. This is a little convoluted, so one, we're just going to save it. So that's the Premiere document, which is not the movie. This is our document that we just worked on. The next thing we're going to do is export media. And all of this is fine. It will be fine for you. I'm going to change this to Leslie Final. And it's trying to save, if you look here, it's trying to save in my Premiere folder, which is fine. So this format's fine. This is fine. Everything is okay. This width and height, this is what I had made the original video because this was a draft I took because I didn't want to wait an hour to render it at full quality. So it will automatically set this. So that's all fine. Everything's great. So you can either queue this or you can export it. Estimated 5, that's quite big, but we'll deal with that later. You can queue it, and that will take you to the Media Encoder CC. So this is all a part of the Adobe suite, and while in the past I never really used this, it's becoming more and more of a convenient tool to use. Oops, don't need that. So once you're here, all you have to do is click this play button. And right now it is outputting the encoding. Let's go to Documents. That's where it will be in our Adobe Premiere Pro 9.0 folder. So right here is, I think this is the one I just made at 11:34. Yep. So here's my example video. And that's this file I just worked on. This was another one I worked on earlier. And then this is the video I just did. It is 63 megabytes, which is quite large, but here you go. It works. And it has all the fading and my text, and voila. So that's all you need to do for this video portion. The next thing we'll be doing is importing things into InDesign, as well as embedding a video in an InDesign for a PDF, which is something a lot of people don't know how to do. And we will be sure that you all know how to do that. And just as an end note, you know, playing off of the sort of scandal um, of the Lumion stuff, it would probably be advantageous for you to take this entire folder with you so that everything is together. Again, iMovie, your stuff will completely fall apart, which is why even though some of you I know how to use it and you should feel free to use it, that's why we're not showing this. You should be able to just keep this as long with your videos, and it should be fine. So what I'm going to do, that should be fine. It should take you like only 20 minutes. And if you have any questions, please let me know.